New York City Fire Department is as old as Aztlan Lodge, 151 years old, and they lose, on the average, 1.5 firemen a month in the history of the fire department. And then 9/11 happened, and they lost 343 men on that one day. And it devastated the fire department. They lost more than 200 years of knowledge just in the 16 men that I knew that passed away. And I said, what does that have to do with DeMolay? So I introduced myself to Jacques DeMolay, who you guys seem to know all about. And I found that Jacques DeMolay, rather than leave his friends, was burnt to death. And in Engine 33 Ladder 9 in the Lower East Side where I worked, they normally have 5 guys on the engine, 6 guys on the truck, which gives you 11 men. The alarm box came in at 8:46 in the morning, which was right in the beginning and right at the end of the tour. So everybody that wanted to responded. So 13 men from Engine 33 Ladder 9 all went down to the World Trade Center. And from what you can see, when the planes crashed, first the North Tower got hit, and then the South Tower got hit. And on arrival, there was no way that those men were going to extinguish that fire. Just not possible. Humanly impossible. So we go into phase 2, search and rescue. And the whole 500 and some odd firemen started climbing the stairs to give the people that were up there a way out. That's all they were doing, is providing a way out to the people that were trapped. First plane hit the 80th floor, and Patty Brown's company got to the 40th. There was a truck company that did get to the 80th floor, and when they responded on the handy-talkie that they got that far, 2 seconds later the building came down. When you looked at the size of the World Trade Center, it's 110 stories high. And it's just humongous, and it defined the skyline of New York. You knew where you were just by knowing where those buildings were. And you could see them from anywhere you went. Being in Lower Manhattan, you went by them every day. But each one of those men that gave up their life that day, they didn't do it for the glory, they didn't do it for being a hero or anything else. They did it for the love of their fellow man. I don't know where I was when I got the inclination to become a fireman. I know I didn't want to be a cop. Being a cop was not for me. But being a fireman, yeah, it's something that fit. And it was a good fit. I loved that job. I did it well. And I always trusted in God. I believed God would look after me. And He did. And I wasn't there at 9/11. And there's a certain amount of survivor guilt. Because I wasn't there, I didn't die. So the brothers that went in my place. I look at it this way. God needed 343 firemen that day. And He couldn't wait. I don't know what He's got in store for me. I'll wait. I'll find out. I'll see those men again. And from that came patriotism. Patriotism like you have never seen. In New York, people would walk with their head down and you wouldn't get them to say hello to each other. And then all of a sudden, the rise of the patriotism that came when those buildings fell. It became something bigger than the individuals. And the flags flew, and all of a sudden we were reborn as Americans. We weren't black, we weren't white, we were Americans. If you look at the pictures of 9/11 when the towers fell, it covered everybody with this gray dust. And you couldn't tell if those people were white, you couldn't tell if they were black. They were just survivors. And from that, the sadness came, that the resurrection of patriotism is what you're seeing today on TV, and how proud I am to having been a member of FDNY. And this is the first time I've talked about this. And when they did get to finding that, imagine 220 floors of rubble laying next to each other. And it fell as far as the 6th floor. So you had to climb over 6 floors or 60 feet of rubble before you get into this pit and look for the men and the brothers you lost. And when they found the 13 men from Engine 3-3 Ladder 9, they were all together. And they died together. And that's the comfort of being a part of that. So, take the example of Jacques DeMolay and be willing to lay down your life rather than leave your friends. And if you keep that in mind, there's not a moment that you're going to live. There's not anything that can be put in front of you that you can't overcome. Because you're going to have DeMolay for the rest of your lives. I know men I meet today, oh, DeMolay? No, I didn't have that. I didn't have that. And those men, they can't do enough for you guys. So just learn. And once it's in your head, nobody can take it out. Nobody can take anything away from you that you know. Knowledge is a wonderful thing. Just be true to yourselves. And be happy. Be happy. Because that's what we're here to do. And I thank you.
Morey, I really, really thank you.
I'm glad to do it. I'm glad to do it for you guys. You need to know.